Hey, good morning. This is Alan Buchanan, and I provide location advice to owners and occupants of industrial buildings in Southern California. And welcome to another edition of Tuesday Traffic Tips. Hope everyone had an outstanding Labor Day weekend and ready to get back to it and close the year out strong as I see these people walking by. Hi, guys. Anyhow, today I want to talk to you about working with control. Now, I've talked to you about that before. As you may recall, there was a gentleman in our original El Toro office. The guy's name was Larry O'Brien. Delightful gentleman. And he used to say that you got to work with control, work on things that you control. And I asked him one time, so what happens if you don't have control? He said, well, you work to get control. So, is there ever a time when you would work without control? Well, I'd love to tell you that I have always worked with control. I have to confess that there have been times where I have not worked with control. I've not had a signed agreement for a listing or for an occupant requirement. But I got to tell you, these days, I rarely, if ever, work without control. And so what are my criteria for taking a flyer on a deal? Some of you may think it might be the size of the transaction. In other words, if there's a big dollar payoff at the end. Actually, that's quite contrary. What I typically look at is I look at the quality of the transaction. I also look at the competition. If I believe that I've got a fairly high likelihood of making the deal happen because I'm sort of the only game in town, then maybe I'll take a flyer. But I tell you, I've walked away from transactions where I couldn't gain control because it's just a real waste of time. When you think about it, if a client is not willing to allow you at least the loyalty after you've spent time and effort on their behalf, then frankly, what is the quality of the requirement? So work to get that control. There's some times when you just can't get it. Maybe you take a flyer, but be very cautious because that's like driving on a Southern California freeway without a seatbelt. You might get away with it for a lifetime, but that one time is going to get you. Okay, make it a great week. Alan Buchanan, Tuesday Traffic Tips.